So first part, let's take this example. This is even numbers file filter, and this is a very simple example. Um, Write a Python program that reads a file numbers.txt containing integers, one per line, and creates a new file even.txt. It only writes the even numbers and maintains one number per line, for example. So I'm not going absolute PowerPoint on theory. I'm mixing theory and PYQs and then solving them, right? So this is a PYQ, and the input is something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in we have to figure out all the even numbers, and you have to print it here. If, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll give you a simpler way. If I had given you, say, L is equal to 1, um, say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And let's see, print type L. Let's run this. Let's see what happens. There's a mistake here, right? Why? Invalid syntax. So if you are reading this file directly into a list, or you're copying these values directly into a list, you will face issues. You cannot just take it and dump it in a list and separate by spaces. Fortunately, there is a command. If you do read lines command and you say, suppose, open numbers.txt as f, and you will see the command something like this: open numbers.txt as in file, and the moment you read that file, you store it into a variable, say L or X or Y, and that value that Y should be in file dot read lines. What that will do is that it will save it as a list in Hindi now. Uh, अगर आपको कोई भी फाइल इनपुट करना है, आपको फाइल रीड करनी है, फॉर एग्जांपल, एंड अगर आपको उसके अंदर की कंटेंट्स एक लिस्ट में मिल जाएं, तो लाइफ बिकम्स इजी. इट्स ये आसान है आपके लिए हैंडल करना लिस्ट को. राइट फ्रॉम वीक 1 2 आप लोग लिस्ट हैंडल कर रहे हैं. तो फर्स्ट बैरियर, जो पहला बैरियर है उसको मैं सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ कि आप फाइल से कंटेंट को एक लिस्ट में डाल दीजिए. Dump it in a list, and then you do all kind of manipulation. Then you again take thing, आप लिस्ट से वापस नंबर्स या कोई भी डेटा उठाइए और वापस उसको फाइल में लिखते जाइए. दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट. एंड लिस्ट, एंड देन यू कैन यूज, आप सेट या डिक्शनरी यूज कर सकते हैं फॉर डिफरेंट यूज केसेस. तो आप कैसे एक फाइल से डेटा लिस्ट में डालेंगे, राइट? ये आपका क्वेश्चन है. तो सपोज जैसे कि यहाँ पे देखिए, विद ओपन फाइल नेम डब्ल्यू एज एफ, तो विथ कमांड से आप कोई भी फाइल को विथ ओपन फाइल नेम, ये डब्ल्यू था इज फॉर राइटिंग, आर कर सकते हैं, दिस इज फॉर रीडिंग, एज एफ, राइट? एंड देन आप अगर सबको एफ डॉट रीड लाइन्स करते हैं, if you do f dot read lines, it just ingests everything in that file, and then you can store it in something like this. And you can use this in any example, and then see what kind of format you are getting, right? So if you um, see something like this, lines is equal to f dot read lines. This is, in the moment you say f dot read lines, it returns a list of strings, and हर लाइन का लाइन के एंड में एक स्लैश एन या ईओएफ या एंड ऑफ लाइन से ईओएफ एंड ऑफ फाइल तक वो रीड करेगा. And it will keep, the moment it hits slash n, it will think of that as one of the list elements, right? And then it will start storing it. So I'll let me see if I have that collab file that I had used last time to give an example of a list. File handling, yeah. So last time when I was giving a demonstration of file handling, what we had done is we had read a file, and suppose we had just taken one file called aiw.txt, and what we have done is we open it, and do read lines, and then we take up things like this is AIW's Alice in Wonderland, and I had given a task to my students that can you open Alice in Wonderland and then give me page 100 to 110, what's there, line by line. So then the moment you do something dot read lines, it stores the entire content, and then you can run this loop for I in the range this to this, and then line 100 to 110, read 10 lines a day kind of thing, and then you can do this and then do n of I. This n is the list of all the lines in particular txt file, right? So if we come back here and see this example, uh, f dot read lines, it will store all the values from f in the lines variable, and then we can do for line in lines and do something. With this, let's go into solving a problem. Do you have any problem where you have solved and faced issues? And I'll take that up. I saw a couple of requests coming in the beginning, so we will take your input. Which one should we take up? Which year, which question, or which OPP2 or which question?
Sir, May 2025 OPP 2 Set 2,
Hmm.
Section 2, Problem number 2.
Okay.
So in this question, one test case is given. I guess it is wrong.
Private test
Test
case,
case,
public.
public test case.
Which one? This one?
No, sir, the second one.
Sure. Let's look at the problem. Make word using last characters of word with minimum length and starting character given a minimum length L and a character C. Consider only those words that have at least one characteristic, okay? And start with the character C. Okay. From each selected word, take its last character and concatenate them in order to in the other the words appear in the input. Output the resulting word. If no word satisfying the criteria, output an empty line. Okay, the first line contains an integer L, 5 apple and banana. Output is ETR. Okay, ETNR, 3 and then A, then 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it looks for um, number of words that follows 5, minimum length and a single. So minimum length is 3. Okay, last, and then single character C, the starting letter separated by a space. Okay, so A minimum length is 3. So this qualifies, this everything qualifies. E qualifies, T qualifies. This doesn't start with A. R qualifies. Yeah, it looks right. E, T, and R. So this looks correct. Let's look at the test cases. Case 2, 5. B starts with B. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So A, is it case sensitive? Doesn't, yeah, it is case sensitive. Yeah. So B, so it should be A, E, T, N. But minimum length is 5. So A, E, and N. It's good, na? Both is 4 characters only. Minimum length is 5. I don't know who asked this question. जिसको समझ में नहीं आया वही बोल लो. How many people here were scared by the length of the question? There is no shame in admitting that question समझा नहीं. अच्छा, शांतनु, शांतन. हाँ. हाँ, so that is the first thing that I tell to my all my students कि क्वेश्चन देख के डर गए, क्वेश्चन ही समझ में नहीं आया, पहली बात. And those who are working, I tell them that if you go to the manager at 6 o'clock in the evening and you have done something that manager didn't ask you to do, manager will definitely be upset. So when a manager gives you task, you usually ask कि मुझे ये करना है और ये करना है, and then you verify. He says हाँ. He signs off, and he or she signs off, and then you go and start working. In the same way, before you get into coding, you understand the problem first. That's the first barrier. Is that you have understood the problem, then you have understood the logic, then you know the syntax, and fourth is when you're passing the test cases. So, acha, is this raised hand is because you want to ask a question? Aryan Yadav या वो पहले का आंसर था? अच्छा, I think it was पहले का आंसर. Okay, cool. तो first अगर I see a lot of hands of people जिनको एक question देख के डर लगा. तो initially I also took some time to wrap my head around. It says given a just raise your hand the moment I reach the point where it doesn't make sense. ठीक है? Given a minimum length L, minimum length L दिया है and a character C, what to look at? Suppose character C is a ABCDNE string. Consider only those words that have at least L characters. That means length at least L होना चाहिए. And start with the character C, case sensitive. So suppose then if this becomes too complex, इसको substitute कर दो. Given a minimum length 3 and a character, suppose अपने नाम का पहले ले लो. Suppose Manish can take M, I can take N. तो मिनिमम लेंथ 5 होना चाहिए, कैरेक्टर एन कैरेक्टर सी एन होना चाहिए, तो नवल हो जाएगा NAVL 5 5 लेंथ एंड स्टार्ट्स विद एन. Consider only those words that have at least L character, should have 5 characters, and start with the character C, N. From each selected word, take its last character and concatenate them in the order the words appear in the input. तो आपको वर्ड्स मिलेंगे एंड देन वर्ड्स का पहला वर्ड पहला कैरेक्टर उठाइए, उसको इससे मैच करिए. इफ इट मैचेस देन लास्ट वाला उठाइए. So those who are like super fast, they will say, okay, suppose if the word is suppose if suppose then you have to suppose take W of 0, and if W of 0 is, or I'm just writing plain English, suppose is this is C and then W equal to L, then whatever you have to concatenate now. So just think like S is equal to empty string, and then use S as an accumulator. S is equal to S plus W of -1. Suppose if W is a string, तो ये इतना लॉजिक, दिस इज सिंटैक्टिकली इनकरेक्ट, बट इतना यहाँ तक आपको समझ आ जाना चाहिए. टिल बाय दिस मच दिस शुड बी द हिंट दैट यू शुड बी गेटिंग. अच्छा, मेरे को इतना सा कुछ करना पड़ेगा शायद, एंड देन शायद मेरे को यहाँ पे प्रिंट करना है. ठीक है ना, यहाँ पे मेरे को प्रिंट टेस्ट करने से मेरा काम हो जाएगा. राइट, आई कैन सी लॉट ऑफ थम्स अप कमिंग, थैंक्स. अब देन यू सी कि अब इसको सही कैसे करें. देन यू हैव टू स्पेंड सम टाइम इन करेक्टिंग दिस, राइट. देन यू सी, देन यू स्टार्ट ऑब्जर्विंग स्मॉल स्मॉल थिंग्स. केस सेंसिटिव, अगर ये केस सेंसिटिव नहीं होता तो W0 इज सी तो नहीं होगा, इज इक्वल टू सी होगा यहाँ पे. मतलब नाउ आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक दिस सिंटैक्टिकली करेक्ट. अगर ये केस सेंसिटिव नहीं होता तब तुम इसको ऐसे कर देते. So just because this is there, so we are not doing this because केस सेंसिटिव है. तो these things immediately, जैसे कि YouTube caches वीडियो ना, सपोज एक वीडियो बहुत पॉपुलर हो गया इंडिया में, तो YouTube will cache it in the Mumbai data center so that they don't have to fetch it from California or Australia. So in the same way, in your mind, you should cache. Cache is CACHE. It's pronounced as cache, that you should already prefetch some things. कि शायद ये करना पड़ सकता है, शायद ये करना पड़ सकता है. Always keep on calculating when you keep on reading. That's how you can start doing stuff, right? The moment you see case sensitive, oh my god, I don't need dot lower, right? Then next, then comes the second line. I have not even gone to here. I'm still here. Okay, and this could be in plain English or plain Hindi or Marathi or whatever. And I've been pushing the Python team that all of you folks, I started my programming in 1996, and those times there used to be algorithm, pseudocode, flowchart, and then program used to be written, and program could be language agnostic, right? You could write it in any language you want to. So long as you understood the concept, you understood how to write a flowchart, you understood how to write a pseudocode or algorithm, you would at least get 5 out of 10, 2 marks, 6 marks each, and 4 marks for programming. So if you are able to do till here in plain English, that means you have understood the problem, you have defined this in a occasionally technical language. Then comes Python as a syntax, R as a syntax, Julia as a syntax. There are many. If you come here, you can see um, on the screen. If you see runtime, see Python is there, R is there, Julia is also there. So a lot of languages. So Python is a means for you to learn data science. I've been telling that to someone I was talking to in the afternoon, one of the buddies, is that it's just means to an end. It's not the end in itself. We're using Python to do deep learning, machine learning, reinforcement learning, data science. It's a means to an end. You drive your scooter to an office to or to college to become a student. You drive your scooter to become a scooter driver or a car driver, right? You drive your car to become a surgeon or doctor or engineer, right? So Python is a means to an end. Never consider that itself as an end in itself, right? So try to pick up those skills which are language agnostic, so that it doesn't matter. It will work in C++ as well for your for that, for all that you care, or Java as well. If you a lot of people are who are coming from Java or C or any other language background, you should be very good at least in the algorithm side and flowchart side. Okay, next let's go to next line. From each selected word, take its last character, right? Last character. Then again, this bell rings, -1, right? And concatenate them in the order the word appear. It means first come first serve. So we are dumping them. The moment you say order, then you start thinking of something like for I in range len l, right? And then we do this w should be like I w of I and then 0, right? W of I, something of this. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm just मुझे ये नहीं पता है कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ सही है नहीं है, बट मैं जैसे लाइन पढ़ते जा रहा हूँ, मैं कुछ कुछ आते जा रहा है, मैं लिख रहा हूँ. आई एम जस्ट टेकिंग अ गेस. मैं ये सब बाद में गलत भी हो सकता है. ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी एन indentation here and everything else, right? So next is concatenate them in the order they appear. So we are concatenating them in the order. Suppose वो बोलते हैं कि concatenate them in alphabetical order, for example. Then क्या करेंगे फिर हम लोग यहाँ पे s is equal to s plus नहीं करेंगे. हम क्या करेंगे यहाँ पे एक नया लिस्ट बना देंगे. l is equal to ये, right? और s is equal to s plus w के बजाय हम करेंगे l dot append w of I and then whatever. I'm just taking -1. फिर नीचे क्या करेंगे? नीचे हमको अल्फाबेटिकली प्रिंट करना होगा, तो अगर लिस्ट में प्रिंट करना होगा तो प्रिंट सॉर्टेड, l dot sorted or whatever. Then it will be sorted as per alphabetical. Or if they want to print it as string, then एक एक एलिमेंट लेते जाइए, उसको आप concatenate करके डंप कर दीजिए, प्रिंट कर दीजिए, whatever. There are many ways of solving. Whenever it says alphabetical and not in the order the word appear, then do not add. Put it in a list, because list is always is a favorite playground. You can play with the list, add element, remove element, order them, shuffle them, do all kind of things with them, right? जहाँ ये order बदले alphabetically दिखे, use this, right? Then output the resulting word. If no word satisfies, output an empty line, right? So how do you output an empty line? Just a new line character, right? Something of this sort. Uh, right, let me comment this out and let me run this. Okay, इसमें भी error आएगा. हाँ. No, why did it say? Did I select this one? हाँ. हुआ? Empty line आ गया. This is very common mistake. Slash n, this slash n versus this slash n, this slash n. Right? So now you know that if you have to not only print the word, but if the word is not there, you have to print an empty line. जैसे ही आपको empty line लगा, you should literally in examination hall you should do what I'm doing in front of all you people. That doesn't run it and then say okay अच्छा अब मुझे ये else में लिखना पड़ेगा. तो if में कुछ रहेगा If whatever, if it's you're storing it in S or something, and if S is not blank, you can use if S only. If S is blank, then it will always be false. If S, then print S or print slash n, new line. Let me uncomment these, for example. So इसको उड़ा दो, ये भी नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है, this minimum length, given a minimum length, consider only input format. First line contains the integer L and A. Okay, तो हमें दो मिल रहा है, तो हम लेंगे n is equal to input dot split, and they are doing this. So n of 0 हमें int लेना पड़ेगा, and उसको हम लोग स्टोर करेंगे as L. So L is equal to int. Whenever you do input dot split, वो string में मिलता है, तो n of 0, तो हमें L मिल गया. फिर C के लिए हम वही करेंगे, n of 1 कर देंगे. हमें हमें मालूम है दो ही कैरेक्टर है, तो ये 0 होगा तो ये 1 हो जाएगा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. ठीक है, अभी हम सेकेंड इनपुट ले सकते हैं. सेकेंड इनपुट लेंगे तो हमें रेंज मिल जाएगा. तो यू कैन टेक दिस एज m इज इक्वल टू int कर दो इनपुट. I don't know if this is the right format. I think so, yeah. Then in range m, then you whatever, keep on taking it, keep on keep on reading the input, and then either store them in a list, or you simply keep on checking in real time and keep on dumping. So here, those who are like advanced programmers, they know that they will not have to reuse this value, then they do underscore and something. If in this case, let us not do all this. Let us say O is equal to input and something like this. So we can take apple, and then all this goes away. Then this could be O of 0, and then this becomes O of I, and then uh, O of I. We don't even need this. So we'll just take the input, and then we do if O of 0 equal to C. C, right? हाँ. And if len O equal to शायद L है. हाँ, अगर लेंथ L है और फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर ये है, then we have to do something. Then keep on adding. Keep S is equal to S plus लास्ट ऐड करना है हमें, तो O of -1. आई होप इट वर्क्स. ऐसा कुछ. व्हाट डिड आई डू? अच्छा, didn't put brackets. I don't need second if actually, huh? Just English. Okay. Hmm. Actual output T. If O of 0, O is the input, okay. Um, O of 0 is equal to C, and len of O equal to L. 3A E T R. Why is not taking E and R? Ah, not equal to is greater than equal to L. राइट। थोड़ा डिबगिंग करते करते हो गया। एरर मैसेज देख के डिबग करने से इफ यू आर लाइक फास्ट अनफ तो हो जाता है। एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट अगर आप, आई डोंट नो जूलिया फॉर एग्जांपल, आई डोंट नो इवन, आई नो बिट ऑफ आर। अगर ये मेरे को आर में या पाइथन में करना होता, आर या जूलिया में करना होता तो मैं भी ऐसी आंसर देख देख करके डिबग करते करते कर लेता मैं। तो हैक इज टू ऑलवेज इंक्रीमेंटली धीरे धीरे बिल्ड करते जाओ एंड देन कीप ऑन डिबगिंग। जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल आई मिस दिस पार्ट, सो if I'm picking up Tamil and I'm not fluent in it, then I'll slowly pick it up and pick up syntaxes and then build it. And once the algorithm is built, and I'm happy. I made a mistake here. The second mistake was exactly brute force matching this. If I do brute force matching, it will only take uh, T. This should set a warning bell in your head कि T क्यों आ रहा है. Then you realize you have set it as 3. Then you should think it is the T is coming from A and T. But the question says starting with A should be 3 and more. Then I corrected myself. Yet it should be greater than equal to L. Right? So then I solve this problem. Test case is solved. Right? And the input. Any other question? I don't know who asked this question. Did it answer your problem?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Sure. Okay. So then always try to think कि if you are the professor, if you are the TA, how will you twist this question? जैसे कि ये केस सेंसिटिव था, ये हटा देगा तो आपको यहाँ पे डॉट लोअर लगाना पड़ेगा, जो मैंने पहले बोला। और ये इन ऑर्डर द वर्ड्स अपीयर को अल्फाबेटिकल करना होगा तो लिस्ट में डाल के बाद में सॉर्ट करना पड़ेगा आपको, उसके बाद कॉन्केटनेट करना पड़ेगा। तो मैंने वेज टू डू इट एंड यहाँ पर भी आई एम वेरी लकी हियर। कैन यू गेस व्हाई आई एम लकी? किस्मत अच्छी है मेरी, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कोई भी ऐसा टेस्ट केस नहीं लिखा प्रोफेसर ने जहाँ पे एम्प्टी लाइन जरूरत पड़े। एम आई प्रिंटिंग एम्प्टी लाइन एनीवेयर?
No, sir.
बस किस्मत से बच गया, ऐसा नहीं करना है। सो इन दैट केस आई विल अनकमेंट दिस, हाँ। देन दिस इज समथिंग they have not written the test cases in a very brutal manner. If professors are brutal or teach instructors are brutal, they will put so many edge cases that you will always, this could have been an edge case for example. Then I would have spent like a half a minute thinking कि अब क्यों नहीं आ रहा है. Then I would have realized कि, and the worst part is if this is in a private case. Public case में everything will be green and I'll not know this part. Then I have to go here and hunt for something and then this will come. I'll actually give an example. One of the students, we were talking to in one of the revision sessions yesterday or day before. Um, it was, I think, this problem that we're talking about. I know, I don't know. Is Ronak here? I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Ronak, which was that question? वो Dumbledore वाला? Which year? Which question? Remember that Harry Potter question? हाँ, this one. So this was the question, section 2 problem 2. इसके test case में this is the input. So you have to take John Doe, Alice Johnson, and then you have to return Doe J, Johnson A, Rickman B A, and this thing. Like the expected output is something like this. Okay. So we we hadn't read the question properly. Like everything was fine, and we were like racking our brain thinking ki Doe J we are getting, Johnson A we are getting, then Rickman B A we are getting. Why is this Dumbledore jumping up to second position? So I literally wrote to the Python team that there is a problem here. Why is see here? Johnson is second, Rickman is third, and then Dumbledore is fourth, right? So Johnson, Rickman is there, Dumbledore comes up. What I didn't see is that this is alphabetical. I missed this part. I wrote straight to the Python team saying that the question itself is faulty or test cases are wrong. Then I spent like the lot of time thinking, and I came to question again, saw this part कि इसमें Dumbledore comes next because do J is do, so it comes first. Dumbledore में D, then J, then R. This is classic example. So what we are solving today as well, वहाँ पे एक angle था कि in the order they come alphabetically, so they twist the question. Unless you're very very careful, you'll make a mistake. Any other question? Otherwise, we'll solve a couple of problems today, and then we'll understand a couple of concepts in file handling. Okay. Um, so let's look at the most common, what do you say, error handling part in file handling, and then we'll also look at R strip, right? So if there is a file may have both numbers and text. So suppose if you're reading something and you are putting it in a list format, list can have integers and string and everything, and special characters also. If you're applying int, it's very good idea to always have a except value error as a function, so that it can suppress the force int conversion of string. ये सब करने के लिए आप हमेशा एक except value error डाल के रखिए वहां पे. This error handling may not be that what to say emphasized in week 10, 11, 12, but as you go ahead, you will find that error handling is very essential. And how are you collecting all these errors, value error and all other errors, right? Next is use the try and except block. As you write code in production, you will always find writing try, 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 so that the entire subroutine of function um, behaves elegantly. The word is write elegant code. So Guido von Rossum, the founder of Python, I think I have listed his book as well. I've listed his book. Uh, 1 second. Yeah. So if you folks have some time, of course you folks are really busy. Do read this book, Python 3 Reference Manual, written by none other than the founder of the creator of Python as a language. It's a very old book, and I have linked it here. Guido von Rossum Python 3 Reference Manual, and currently the version we are using is 3.8 was sunset. We are using 3.10 and 3.12 we are using. Uh, there are ton of content here. This doc file can be found on the top of the OPP2 revision. This is the doc file. This doc file has a lot of good content that all other buddies have given. Somebody has put some cheat sheets, somebody has put some common mistakes, there's some YouTube tutorials. So it's like one collection of everything. We're trying to make everything available here on this page, right? So let me come back here. So what I'm trying to say here is, do try to have an elegant way of writing code. So how do you write elegant code? You write elegant code by having a try except block, so that the errors are handled gracefully. वो सीधा स्क्रीन पे नहीं आ जाता है एक रेड कलर का एरर, उसको आप हैंडल करके एंड देन यू लेट द प्रोग्राम कंटिन्यू, राइट? That is something that you may get a question low probability, but you may get the question of try value error. Next is formatting details. Strip functions: dot strip, r strip, l strip, and slash n
I
characters.
have a question.
Bolo.
What is the difference between finally and else? Like we try in try and
फाइनली
accept.
मतलब, हाँ, अगर दोनों में भी कैच नहीं होगा तो कहीं वो कैच करेगा. तो देखते हैं, चलो. n is equal to suppose 10.2. If n is greater than 11, print 1, else. I think finally try में आता है ना. else print
Yes, sir.
2. Mhm. Right, and then right, except what is the exception error you are handling? We'll use the same thing, this one, value error.
Yes, sir.
And what are you printing? Same, continue or something, continue, break, either continue or break. And this is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Let us see क्या आता है. Continue not properly in the loop. Why? Why is why is this not indenting? It should indent, na? What has happened to the ID? Expected except after except statement. Double indentation. Anyway, indentation VS Code में भी you can take a look, but इसके बाद it will do this. It will run this trial block. N greater than 11 नहीं है, it will print this. I don't know why this indentation is getting in an issue. पता नहीं. Except block हमेशा try के साथ रहता है, and then it catches all the errors that can occur in this computation, or it can occur during the control flow or calling any function from यहाँ से, and then it takes some action. Finally it happens regardless of whatever is happening in this and this. ये वाला part हमेशा run करता है. So I wanted to show that 3 always gets printed, but for some reason this, उसको मैं हटाता हूँ. So it should print, technically it should print 2 and then 3. So this the
So
concept
if we use else in place of finally,
else in place of finally, else in place of finally. But then so you, this is something that you always want to run, na? Else is the conditional this is not a conditional statement. Else की जगह पे finally नहीं run कर पाओगे. Suppose that this is student marks, right? So if n is greater than 40, say greater than 40, then print pass, right? And else print fail. But this is suppose results are final, for example. ये सब चीजों के लिए यूज किया जाता है, राइट?
yes, sir.
जहाँ पे कंडीशन ना हो, दिस इज कंडीशनल्स, दिस विल ऑलवेज रन, एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन मेक इट व्हाटएवर 39 or whatever, and then
Yes, sir. Clear.
है ना? I still don't know why the accept part did not run, but that's a question for some other. Uh, that's a question for the IDE के issues में. So so R strip is very commonly used And I'll give you an example of where it was used. We'll use it in this one only. So when we read any input from a file, suppose John Doe this and this thing, इसके end में हमेशा slash n add होते जाता है. So if you do not do strip, you will find that these inputs are getting not aligned properly. Uh, which question was that, रौनक, जहाँ पे हमें ये मिला था, बहुत सारे slash n's मिले थे, and we had to take away slash n's. Was it this problem that we are solving? There was a
No,
file, na?
sir. I think set three, last question.
Set 3 last question. January.
Yes, sir.
This is the one. Yeah, correct. Yeah, this is the one. So this question anyway I have solved, but in this question we get an input file. So we open this file as f, and then we do f dot read lines. तो ये सारा l list में आ जाता है. Then the question is that कि अगर file का extension इस set में है तो keep on adding the file length. अगर इस set में नहीं है तो do not add, for example. So इसमें JPEG है, PNG है, GIF है, almost all image formats हैं. ये docs format नहीं है. So it will add everything, and if you see यहाँ पे कुछ upper case में है, यहाँ पे सब lower case में है. So we had to do open the file. तो ये सारे एक साथ पढ़ लेगा वो, L में store कर देगा. फिर एक एक को L उठाओ, L of I मतलब पहला ये आ गया आपका, डॉट स्प्लिट डॉट पे करो. तो डॉट पे स्प्लिट करने से यू गेट दिस वन, दिस बिग वन, एंड देन यू गेट दिस स्मॉल वन. हमें इसका कोई काम नहीं है. विल चेक दिस आउट. विल ओनली कीप दिस पार्ट. सी, we have done split and then you have taken the second one, right, which is the JPEG. Is this part clear? L of I dot split, we split on this, and then we do 0 to -1. Why do we do 0 to -1? Suppose if I print m, so JPEG, TXT, JPEG, PNG is doing this, right? Suppose I do not do this one, and then I say print m. देख रहे हैं ये वाला JPEG के बाद स्लैश एन अपने आप ऐड हो रहा है. ये मैंने नहीं ऐड किया. सपोज आपने L अभी रीड किया, प्रिंट L करके देखिए. डू अ प्रिंट L, सी व्हाट विल हैपन. So L is this, right? L is a list of one element where all these are like list of whatever 6 elements where all of them are like these lines. But when you read them, when you do L dot read lines, if you say print L of suppose 0, 2000 file1.jpg, इसके बाद एक slash n है that you cannot see, but you will see that here. This is the, so whenever you read something from a file in Python, it always keeps on reading till it sees a slash n, which is a new line character. The moment it sees a new line character, it's वो ये समझता है, it understand कि अभी यहाँ पे list का पहला element आ गया. Next element will be something which starts after new line. So it always concatenates new line as the last element of every line. So this line, suppose this is what, 2000 file1.jpg. तो इसका लेंथ होना चाहिए 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, right? इसका length should be 14. Let us see. uh, Print len l of 0. देख रहे हैं लेंथ 15 आ रहा है. Let's do the mathematics again. I know it's a bit boring, but concept concept building from whenever do file handling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15th क्या है?
So slash n.
Exactly. वो ही सारा खेल खराब करेगा आपका. यहाँ पे दिख रहा है ना आपका सब स्लैश एन स्लैश एन स्लैश एन स्लैश एन. Because the moment you will try to suppose if you do not know this, then what you are doing, you are doing m is equal to lfi dot split. ठीक है. And then if you print m, for example, and let me not do lfi dot split and then 1, right? And then let us see this. So I'm splitting this and jpeg, I'm splitting this and txt. Now I cannot match it with this jpeg jpeg because this end में slash n added है. That's the reason ये देख रहे हैं जो इसका second वाला part है इसके एक अगले line पे आ रहा है, because यहाँ पे slash n added है. To remove slash n, what you have to do is the moment I do li dot split, तो जिनको नहीं समझ में आ रहा, you can raise your hand. I'll explain again this problem. How many of you know इस problem में करना क्या है? How many of you don't know इस problem में क्या करना है? Okay, 1, 2, okay, ठीक है. इस प्रॉब्लम में हमें एक ऐसी इनपुट फाइल दी हुई है, ठीक है, और हमें एक्सटेंशंस दिए हुए हैं, जेपेग जेपीएग पीएनजी जिफ, लाइन नंबर 10. ठीक है. जो भी फाइल्स ये लिस्ट में होगी जिसका एक्सटेंशन ये होगा, द एक्सटेंशन ऑफ विच इज इन दैट इन दिस सेट, वो फाइल का लेंथ ऐड करना है हमको. तो अगर JPEG यहाँ पे दिया है तो all JPEG length should be added, JPEG है तो all JPEG length should be added. So docs is not here, so docs should not be added. And what we have to add, this is the length of the file, like 2000 kilobyte, 890 kilobyte, 30.5 megabyte. These are all file lengths. So output should be sum of all this. For example, अगर ये input है तो output should be 2000 because JPEG is here. 30,500. TXT is not here. We are not having any TXT files, which will go away. This will be there because JPEG is here. The moment you see this, what do you think? कि जब भी मैं इसको डॉट पे स्प्लिट करूंगा तो इसको मेरे को लोअर करना पड़ेगा because everything here is lower. The moment you split this, you have to make this part lower so that then you can look it up against here, right? So you take this, you check this out because TXT is not there. You take this because PNG is here. You take this because GIF is here, and then you drop this because docs is not here. Then you sum this 2000 plus 37 plus this. So output is this. So now I guess everyone knows what is the expected task from us from this program. Now we go ahead with the logical part. ठीक है. Logical part is हम लोगों को extension check करना है. So what do we see is common here? Is that extension always comes after dot, right? So and then we know that there is something called as input dot split or something anything dot split. We can split it. If you do not put a delimiter, if they say something like this split, it will always split on space, right? But we have to split on this thing. So we'll put a delimiter as dot, right? अगर मैं यहाँ पे delimiter कॉमा लिख दूं, then it will split here. The moment it says sees comma, उस comma के पहले वाला would be one thing, anything after that will be second thing, right? I will use that logic again, but currently we will not use it. Currently what we will do, we will split on this, we'll extract this, and then we'll check. The moment you take this, you have a match, you come back, you again split, but this time you don't split on this. This time you split on this. See, second split is on comma. The moment you split on comma, you check this out. आपको ये नहीं चाहिए. You don't want this. You only want this. But this is in string. Do an int of that. See, I'm doing int of that. You take this, and I'm taking a 0 of that. The first one. I'm taking the first part that comes whenever you do a split on something. The first part is leftmost till the delimiter. So leftmost till the comma is there in the zero. That's all that I want. I want that in int, and I'm just adding it. Sum is equal to sum plus n. Sum is zero. That's it. If list img extension, I've converted this into list. If this is in m of l of I dot lower, and l of I is this file, then I'm just keeping this thing. I'm keeping on adding it. If it's not there, I'm stopping it. How many of you understood what I'm doing? How many of you understood that how cleverly I'm splitting once times on dot, another time on comma? And this is just one way of solving it. You can solve it in many ways. But this is how I found it very interesting. कितने लोगों को समझ में नहीं आया? I know it's 10:30 and you folks must be getting tired. Luckily, we have budgeted 3 days, so we have lots of time to practice and understand. But I want you folks to be comfortable in solving this problem at least. कितने लोगों को समझ में नहीं आया अभी तक? बताओ honestly. Raise your hand. Again, okay. पूजा को समझ में नहीं आया. Okay, couple of people. Okay, unmute yourself now. Please tell कहाँ पे if you can see my line numbers, tell me which line. Okay, I've written a lot of things for debugging purpose, right? So I'll remove these things because these are not relevant. I'll split this on 0. I think this should work. So tell me which line is not clear.
So line number 18.
18.
Yes, sir.
Acha. So what I'm doing is L of I is all these lines, right? The moment I say L of I, L of 0 is this, L of 1 is this, L of 2 is this, L of 3 is this, L of 4 is this, L of 5 is this. L of I is L of 0 is this. I'm doing a split on comma. The moment I do split on comma, आपको क्या मिलेगा? What
The
happens?
size and the file separated.
You will get two outputs, 2000 and this like one big chunk. I don't need this at all because ये मैं already आगे check कर लिया है मैंने. जब मैंने dot पे split किया था तब मैंने ये check कर लिया था already. Can you see this one?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Actually this should be one. जब मैंने dot पे split किया तभी मैंने check कर लिया था इसको कि it is this extension exists. The moment this extension exists in this one, अब मेरे को ये चाहिए. उसको मैं ऐड करते हैं. The moment I have this, इसका only purpose of line 18 is to come and help line 23. Extract the numbers, add the number. But add it conditionally. Add only those numbers. It extracts all the numbers, but adds only those numbers जिनका extension is in line number 10. Okay, शांतन को समझ में आया. किसी को किसको समझ में नहीं आया? And which line is complicated or you feel that चलो उसको छोड़ो. कितने लोगों को क्वेश्चन देख के डर लग रहा है? क्वेश्चन देख के समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? Raise your hand if you feel the question is scary or it's complicated. I know you folks are still comfortable in examination hall, you will be nervous and stuff, but no hands up. That means people are comfortable. They are able to understand करना क्या है यहाँ पे, right? And given a file containing file size and file names, you take this input, then you split there, and then you add something like this. Test cases are these, and we are able to solve it. Okay, here why I showed this example, why I asked my student to bring this up is because I wanted to show you the concept of slash n, right? Let me make it a bit larger. This is visible na? On my screen it's very small, but I hope this paper this okay, it's visible na? Perfect. I okay, there's a question. Okay, cool. If you have a question, Manish, okay, Okay. So I showed that example to bring to you the concept of slash n. That new line character always exists there, right? And to explain that, we'll do the same example of file handling that we did here, right? So let us see if I have those content here. I think this content will go away. Let's download one file and then let's read some content of a file. I just picked up Alice in Wonderland because it is one of the most frequently used text in machine learning. So this Lewis Carroll, just download the plain text format. So this is the plain text format. Right click, save link as. Yeah, PG11. I'll just save it here. Here, let me upload it. Where is my download? Here. It's still downloading. Acha. Insecure download keep. Okay. Okay. Mhm. So let us open this, and then let's open copy path. Right. Okay. I would turn off the suggestions. Uh, settings. AI assistance off. Okay. Good. So this, with open this as f, I have opened this file. Let us say L is equal to f dot read lines, right? Let's do this. Okay, done. So let's do print L of 0. Predict Gutenberg ebook of Adventures in Wonderland, for example. How many lines does the book Alice in Wonderland have? How do I get it? Len of L. So Alice in Wonderland has 3762 lines. Of course, we can open this in Notepad and see this, whatever. I think we can enable line number here, and so we can see which line number it is. I guess if I open it in VS Code, I can see the line number and then match it with something. Right click, open with VS Code. I mean, VS Code is, yeah, right? Line number 34 is this. You can access this as here as well. Print L, what, 34? No, let's print um, 33. Yeah, because it starts with 0 and this starts with 1. So 33. We've got this right. Now the question is, open a file and then find the number of vowels here in line number X or whatever. So then you can do like wow is equal to A, E, I, O, U for I in range len L. Then go line by line, keep on adding vowels. Lines have words, words have alphabets, alphabets are vowels. So for I in range, we'll go through each line and then look it up. Say L of I, if then for J in range len L of I. So every line you go from starting to ending. If j in wow count is equal to count plus 1, right? That's it. Print. I know it will be like big this thing, but let's say print. Uh, no, let's just print L of I and then print count. Count will be too big, so let's bring it inside actually. Let's see how it looks like. Mm, for j in range. Oh no. If L of I j. Okay. Count to 0. It will do what? It has done 3,700 words. Can you see what it's doing? It's gone till the last line. It keeps on adding, and the last count is so Alice in Wonderland has 45,619 vowels. So of course there is some Gutenberg English here as well, and then some US copyright notices, whatever. So every line it says 322, then there are 22 vowels here. You can count them. A E I O I O U. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Right? 22 plus 22 is 44. That's it. The point is, if you so when you're doing file handling, if you have fun with Python, you will never have to learn Python. So for anything for that matter, right? So what we did, we just downloaded Alice in Wonderland from Gutenberg, and we dumped it into Colab. We dumped all the lines into L, and then you can do all kind of manipulations. Find the number of lines in Alice in Wonderland or any text which has more than 10 vowels in one line, or whatever has is a palindrome. How many palindromes are there? Take each words. How do you find number of words in the line? How do you find words in the line? What we are doing J is element by element, right? How do you find number of words here? You do input dot split. The moment you input dot split, you will have the words, right? It will say this will all become list. The way I am doing this, L33, you have to calculate the number of words here. I can do this L33 dot split, right? So how many words are there in uh, Alice in Wonderland? Keep on doing L split and keep on adding len. In line 33 has 4. The point is, you make, it's like in childhood we used to create our own make believe stories. We keep on doing this make believe questions. And someone can ask this, then you try to solve it. That's what nowadays, of course, I am old, but the new generation uses ChatGPT to make questions. I used to make questions for myself. I used to twist questions and figure out how we can make this question tougher. How many lines here have something like this or something like that? So these questions are also made by humans, right? So when you have fun with all those, then you come here, then you'll find these are like child's play, at least the file handling part. Because the only thing in file handling is that you take something from a file, put it in a list, and then the world is the oyster. You can do whatever you want with the list, because मुझे पता है कि आप लोग सब लिस्ट से बड़े कंफर्टेबल हैं. एक बार वो कोई चीज लिस्ट में आ जाएगी तो आप लिस्ट को आप लेंथ निकाल सकते हैं, उसका एल ऑफ जीरो, एल ऑफ वन, लेंथ, list manipulation, list comprehension for I in the range, and you can do anything. The only worry is ओनली सबसे खाली यही प्रॉब्लम होती है आप लोगों को कि कोई फाइल को लेकर के लिस्ट में डालना और लिस्ट को फाइल में लिखना, राइट. तो वो भी मैंने यहाँ पे एग्जांपल दिया है, यहाँ पे नीचे में. दूसरी फाइल ओपन करिए, कोई एक नई फाइल ओपन करिए. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं ये ओपन करता हूँ एज F2, तो यहाँ पे वो फाइल है नहीं. जब मैं इसको ओपन करूंगा तो फाइल अपने आप क्रिएट हो जाएगी. सपोज मैं ये PG11 है ना, तो मैं इसको कॉपी करता हूँ एंड देन मैं इसको ये यहाँ डालता हूँ, इसको रन करता हूँ. यहाँ पे कोई एक नया फाइल आएगा, न्यू 4567.txt, जो यहाँ पे नहीं था. वो अपने आप क्रिएट करेगा, फिर इसमें डंप करना. देखो ये आ गया ना, न्यू 4567. अब इसमें डंप करना स्टार्ट करेगा. वो क्या डंप करेंगे वो हम लोग यहाँ पे डिसाइड कर सकते हैं. F2 डॉट राइट. आप n of I is whatever that you have. The moment you write dot write file, then you close these two files and you exit the program. How to read the file from read lines? Read lines will read everything. I find it most comfortable. Some people like reading line by line. I find पूरा एक बार में read करके memory में dump कर लो. उसके बाद then you perform computations on the memory, and then you do all kind of manipulation. And then whenever your output is ready, then you do F2 dot write. If you write line by line, you just keep on writing elements. For example, कोई आपको बोलेगा कि मेरे को ये वाला आउटपुट फाइल में चाहिए, ये आपका इनपुट एक लिस्ट में है, इसको आउटपुट में एनएफ फाइल चाहिए. वो हाउ विल यू प्रिंट दिस? सपोज एक लिस्ट है एल, एल में है 1 2, फॉर एग्जांपल not 1 2. Let's take the older list from here. This one L33. Let's take this one. Mhm. Hmm. L is equal to uh, L of 33, and suppose this is dot split. What did I do? L of 33 dot split. Acha, we have already defined L here. Okay, this one. Okay, then also it will not work. फिर से फिर से फिर से. हाँ. So suppose someone says कि इसको मेरे को लिख के चाहिए इस फाइल में. Then you just write, you have L33 like this, say for I in range whatever len L33, and then you print L of 33 of I. तो it will print Alice, and क्या करेगा, इसके end में वो एक तो slash n लगा देगा. You print this and then you do whatever, you're opening this as F2 ना, हाँ F2. तो देन यू प्रिंट दिस एंड यू डू F2 डॉट राइट. सेम थिंग जो प्रिंट कर रहे हैं वो लिखो भी यहाँ पे, राइट L of 33 of I, right? Okay, and whatever. This is with open uh, यहाँ पे राइट मोड में ओपन करना है as F2 for example, and then okay. So now then you can do this for I in range, this F2 dot write, and then you can उसको मैं डिलीट कर देता हूँ सो दैट इज नो फाइल. ठीक है. एंड देन आई वांट टू राइट एलिस एडवेंचर इन वंडरलैंड. ठीक है. It will print all this and the file will come. Huh. Let me download it. Uh, yes, it's here. New 4567. Alice Adventure in Wonderland. What it does is it takes the entire L33 of I and then it dumps it in this one. This is in the entire range. जब यहाँ पे print कर रहा है, what it does is it takes each element, whatever Alice A, L, I, C, E, every element, and it keeps on printing it here. Then it goes again the entire length of this. It prints it. Then the moment it finds Alice's यहाँ पे comma है, then adventures है, यहाँ पे एक new line है, वो अपने आप एक space डाल रहा है यहाँ पे. Then adventures, then again new line है, again new line है, then again new line है. But when you write it, it just writes once and it closes it. The last time the value of L33 of I here, it doesn't print all this. It doesn't print like A and D something. See, ये concept समझना थोड़ा involved है, but this is critical. Why is it not opening when I click on like this? हाँ. Ideally, you will expect that Alice Adventure in Wonderland should have like ALICES Adventures in Wonderland like this. It's printing like here directly. This is the concept that you need to understand when why printing L of 33 while writing L of 33 of I are different, even if both are in the same loop. कितने लोगों को समझ में आया? लिखते वक्त वो तब तक लिखते रहेगा जब तक कि उसको एक न्यू लाइन कैरेक्टर ना मिले. प्रिंट करते वक्त वो जस्ट एग्जैक्टली ये एलिमेंट को प्रिंट करेगा. L33 जो भी यहाँ पे है, L33 इज व्हाट? L33 is Alice's one. It's a line L33. So this line has these many alphabets. This is L33 the line. Line number 33. Line number 34 of Alice in Wonderland is L33. Right? Just those who are losing it, it's this is the line. ये line को हम लोग manipulate कर रहे हैं जो ऐसा दिखती है. ये है line and we printed it that line by reading it from here. Then what we did was we split it. Again, this doesn't matter in this context. What we are doing is we're taking the entire length, we are going character by character. I in range length of this. So I is this L33, which is this full line of I. So this of I is capital A. But when you go here and write capital A, it writes capital A. Very happy. Then it writes L, then it writes I, then it writes C. जब ये प्रिंट करता है तो ये न्यू लाइन ऐड करता है. जब लिखता है तो न्यू लाइन ऐड नहीं करता है. It just keeps on writing, keeps on writing, keeps writing in Wonderland. It keeps here and stops. Because there is no new line here. But when you print, when the second time the print runs, if you do not want new line here, then what you do? Swap is equal to कुछ नहीं /t. No, not swap actually. End is equal to. Now it works. अभी जैसा प्रिंट कर रहा है वैसा लिख भी रहा है. It prints like this, it writes like this. Why? Because if you do not write in any print command end is equal to this, it will always attach a /n. So you will have questions in OPP when someone will say कि make a pattern but last में space मत देना. So then in that case, in the end you have end, you have to put like end is equal to nothing. What will you do, what will happen if you say end is equal to slash t? It will give tab. If you write slash n, जो पहले कर रहा था, if you write slash n or don't write slash n doesn't matter. By default, it will always take slash n. Works. So now if I tell you that go, and I have always been telling this to people that unless you have fun, you will never learn stuff. Go to Project Gutenberg, and Gutenberg is just one example because it hosts open source books. Go to any, pick up any of the 75,000 free books and practice it. See what are the most frequently occurring words and how our spoken English has changed in 2000 years. Are we speaking some words less frequently than others? Or just pick up an oldest book on Gutenberg and the newest book on Gutenberg, and then pick up the frequency of the most commonly occurring words. Do you see that the spoken English has changed? Are there some words you find that in Oxford English Dictionary as well, some words which are no longer being used? They are removed from dictionary. Yeah, Pooja, you have a question. Sorry. Question. Was that a question or was that a false alert? Acha. So, this are all examples, right? Chalo, we'll see another couple of questions. File handling actually carries most of the marks. What we did today was, let's look at this. We looked into reading files. कैसे कोई फाइल को हम लोग पढ़ते हैं, कैसे उस फाइल से डेटा उठाते हैं, लिस्ट में डालते हैं. देन द मोमेंट इट्स इन लिस्ट, इट्स लाइक OPP1. देन यू कैन डू एनीथिंग विथ इट, ऐड नंबर, इवन है कि नहीं, ऑड है कि नहीं, कैन डू डिवाइडेड बाय टू, फाइंड द रिमाइंडर, find the quotient, percentage to percent, all that is your playground. My job is to help you become comfortable in reading something from file and putting it in the list. एंड आई हैव फुल फेथ इन ऑल ऑफ यू दैट एक बार लिस्ट में आ गया तो यू कैन डू एनीथिंग विथ इट. तो हमने ये वाला पार्ट देखा कि कैसे फाइल से लिस्ट में ले आना है. तो लिस्ट से कैसे लिखना है वो भी हमने देखा कि अगर हम लिखेंगे तो कैसे न्यू लाइन कैरेक्टर नहीं रहता है, कैसे न्यू लाइन कैरेक्टर आता है, स्लैश इन क्या होता है, दैट वी सॉ. Right, so if you have to write, so if you have to read this, store this in a list, do some computation like find if they are even, then dump it into an output called even.txt. If it's even, you can do it. Or is there anyone who is still not comfortable कि अगर मैं आपको ये एक प्रोग्राम रहे, एक सिंपल प्रोग्राम जिसमें आपको नंबर डॉट टीएक्सटी से पढ़ना है, लिस्ट में स्टोर करना है, और उसके फिर उस लिस्ट के नंबर्स को एक एक करके चेक करना है, और बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन कंडीशन, इवन और डिविजिबल बाय 3, डिविजिबल बाय 5, डिविजिबल बाय 7, लीव से रिमाइंडर 1 व्हेन डिवाइडेड बाय 5, व्हाटएवर, उसको हमको एक दूसरे फाइल में डालना है. क्या करना पड़ेगा हम लोगों को? ऐसे करना पड़ेगा. जस्ट फॉर द रिवीजन पर्सपेक्टिव, दो फाइल ओपन करनी पड़ेगी विथ ओपन, जो आपका एक्चुअली OPP2 में ऑलरेडी एक फाइल ओपन करके देंगे एग्जाम में, बट जस्ट फॉर योर आइडिया, ओपन समथिंग एज रीड जिससे आप लोग पढ़ेंगे एज ए, नेक्स्ट लाइन में ओपन समथिंग एज राइट, या तो यहाँ पे ओपन करिए या बाद में ओपन करिए. जैसे कि यहाँ पे मैंने जस्ट लिखने के लिए ओपन किया, यहाँ पे कोई रीड का फाइल है नहीं, तो अलग से भी ओपन कर सकते हैं लिखने के लिए. अगर साथ साथ ओपन करना है तो साथ साथ भी ओपन कर सकते हैं. तो साथ साथ ओपन कर लीजिए. एक इसको F दे दीजिए, इसको F1 कर दीजिए, F2, F3, वट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू, बिकॉज दिस विल F डॉट रीड लाइन, F2 डॉट राइट, है ना. F डॉट रीड लाइन से ये लिस्ट में आएगा, F2 डॉट राइट से आप बाहर जाएगा. उसके बाद F डॉट क्लोज, F2 डॉट क्लोज करने से फाइल क्लोज करना इज अ गुड हैबिट बिफोर यू एंड द प्रोग्राम. How many of you are comfortable with what I told? That this is something that you can do. How many of you are not comfortable? कितने लोगों को बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आया? 11 बज गया, मैं फिर से रिपीट तो नहीं करूंगा, बट आई विल कवर इट टुमारो. How many of you are not able to get it? This problem, the fundamental of file handling, and it's fine. There's no nothing wrong in not knowing. I'll make it a point to repeat it next class. Actually, बहुत कम लोग ही बचे हैं. प्रज्ञा को पता, शांतनु, प्रज्ञा, you don't know how to solve it, or you know how to solve it? Now it's confusing. You don't know. अच्छा हाँ, शांतनु doesn't know how to solve it. Okay. What about प्रज्ञा?
I get it.
You get it? अच्छा, ठीक है. Okay. तो शांतनु, remind me tomorrow.
Meaning, I also get it, but the way you were talking about bringing them into the list format, I'm not sure I can do it all the time. Like these specific examples, I understood, and somewhere or the other, my concepts are getting clear thanks to you. But I'm not confident that every time I'll be able to get it into the list and I could mutate it on my own.
अच्छा, so give me an example. So instead of having the fear of unknown, आप एक कोई भी question उठा लीजिए. All the PYQs are here and all the solutions are on this page, and then tell me that this problem I'm struggling. Instead of feeling कि I will not be able to do it all the time, right? So there are lots of PYQs. So homework for you. हाँ बोलिए. There's a question raised. मैंने हिंदी में काफी बोला है आज, तो I hope आपको समझ में आया होगा.
यस सर, थैंक यू सर। मैं पूछ रही थी ये सेशन की रिकॉर्डिंग मिलेगी?
वो उसको मेरे को पूछना पड़ेगा हमारे वायनाड हाउस के चेयरमैन को.
अच्छा,
आ,
सेक्रेटरी से। ओके सर।
हाँ, उनके उनको उनके पास रहता है, मेरे पास एक्सेस नहीं रहता है. तो एक बार उनको बोलने से दे, एंड आई थिंक इट्स ओपन फॉर ऑल हाउसेस, तो देयर अदर हाउसेस आल्सो इन द कॉल. आई नो बिकॉज माय स्टूडेंट्स आर फ्रॉम अदर हाउसेस एज वेल, दे आर इन द कॉल. तो उनको भी शायद किसी तरीके से एक्सेस दे सकते हैं, तो इट विल बी नाइस बिकॉज दोज आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ वायनाड हाउस ग्रुप. तो उनको भी दे देना एक्सेस. अगर आपको मिलता है तो प्लीज बी काइंड टू ईच अदर, और इफ पॉसिबल पेस्ट इट समवेयर हियर, और जस्ट डीएम इट टू मी. आई विल पेस्ट द रिकॉर्डिंग का लिंक समवेयर हियर. यहाँ पे जो मैंने लिखा है ना, एवरी इवनिंग एट 9:30, तो मैं डे 1 का यहाँ पे रिकॉर्डिंग की लिंक डाल दूंगा, और
ओके
डे 2
सर।
का फिर यहाँ डाल देंगे, डे 3 का यहाँ डाल देंगे. डे 3 के बाद तो एग्जाम ही आ जाएगा, आपको आपको पढ़ने का टाइम नहीं रहेगा, बट जस्ट फॉर द दिस पार्ट. हाँ, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
नो सर,
अच्छा,
थैंक यू।
वेलकम. क्लास की स्ट्रेंथ गिरती जा रही है, सब लोग के बच्चे के करके जा रहे हैं. 17. अच्छा, आई नो वी आर गेटिंग बिट स्ट्रेस्ड, बट हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू लाइक दिस? आई पर्सनली लाइक दिस व्हेन आई taught in my class. Is this, I always use this Gutenberg example, that if you have fun with all these books now, story books and Crime and Punishment, Romeo Juliet, you can do anything, right? And then you can, if you want to make, you can make a digital bookmark also. That what I did here was कि आप every day read 10 pages, at least read 10 lines of the book. So open line number 100 to line number 110, and then print it. And then we did something like find the number of vowels and all the stuff. But um, just read it and try to learn something and create word stem. And if you get more advanced in second year, you will know how to do word cloud, you will learn how to word stem and everything. But this is like a digital bookmark कि 10 पन्ने पढ़े आपने, आपने you downloaded the book, you loaded it directly here on the screen, and then you literally read them, and then you closed it. So it's fun. It's a very geeky way of reading a novel, but still a way of reading the novel. If you do something like this, L33, or say for in range 100 to 110, of course the step will be 1 and whatever. Rent L of I, right? So next day morning you can change it to whatever, 110 to 120. That's the way of reading it, right? So Try to do this. Try to have file handling. I know last time when we met for OPP1 revision, a lot of students said that pattern problem से बहुत डर लगता है, and I told them that pattern problem are the easiest one. Sir, please confirm this recording मिलेगा क्या? I think I have answered ना Pooja, and as for that you must pass at least one OPP to meet the course for the I think you are all talking to each other because मैं ये chat देख नहीं रहा हूँ. तो I'll stop presenting. क्या क्वेश्चन है, रुको अभी मैं क्वेश्चंस लेता हूँ एक एक करके. One of the student was asking till previous term. um, they're repeating Python. If you score 20 to 40 everyone, then you will be able to pass OP directly if you complete. हाँ वो पहले था यार, पहले उन्होंने 40 को ब्रेक कर दिया था कि आपने 20 यहाँ से पढ़ा 20 वहाँ से पढ़ा तो 20 यहाँ से मिला 20 वहाँ से मिला तो 40 अगर a plus b is 40 then it is good enough. I think it was an exception in that term, but currently I think it's still 40. किसी एक में एटलीस्ट 40 लाना पड़ेगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने वहाँ पे 35 लाया तो यहाँ पे 5 लाने से हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. जहाँ तक मेरे को पता है दक्ष, आई एम नॉट अ ऑफिशियल सोर्स, डोंट कोट मी, आई एम जस्ट योर सीनियर, सो सेकंड ईयर. शांतनु शेखर बोलिए.
Sir, in the OPP1,
हम्म.
the difficulty of the paper was much higher than what the PYQs and the practice sessions and everything suggested. So, how are we to tackle if something similar happens in OPP2?
मतलब I have heard this point from couple of students. I'll be completely honest with you folks, but I do not understand how do you define complex. I know I'm not
No,
pretending or
complex
showing
as
off.
in even when we were getting the answers, we were getting the test cases done, then some private test cases were not done, and no matter what changes you made, they couldn't be done. And finally they admitted that one of the problems had this issue, like the
Hmm.
pattern printing problem had this issue, but they never really told how they would rectify this, and during the exam it became
Ah.
a huge issue. And meaning it really lowered the confidence of how to progress through the problems, because literally you were not getting any of the problems right apart from the section 1. So
Hmm.
it became so confusing, and then I think so many people didn't do well just because of this, and they were even I was prepared very well for it, but I couldn't really crack section 2 or 3.
So I haven't seen, to be very honest, the question. So अगर ये question आपके पास है, if you can share on the screen, I can take a look. I don't think that it's posted anywhere for me to take a look. Otherwise, I can comment. But अगर हाँ, if the all the options are wrong, then of course it's a waste of time and the waste of marks. वो time that you could have given to some other question. So incorrect question anyway gets full marks, and of course they should give you some marks for the time that you spent extra thinking that you might be wrong, right? Regarding complex questions, हाँ प्रज्ञा बोलो.
Sir, the question paper is available on the
कोई
buddy's
दिखा तो
site.
दो मेरे को. If somebody can share a screen or put a link here, I can open it. I don't know if you have sharing permissions or not. I have time. I can take a look and understand where you folks are finding it difficult. कहाँ आपको difficult लग रहा है एक बार दिखाओ. If someone has it handy, नहीं तो we can or if you can
So,
paste the
should I
link.
share it, sir?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आज शांतनु ने दे दिया, रुको मैं करता हूँ. Okay, okay, thank you Shantanu. Let me share. Okay. हाँ. Write a function is repeated thrice that checks whether a string is found by repeating the same string exactly 3 times. ठीक है, कोई भी उठाओ उसको चेक करो आप उसके अंदर, and then the moment you check it you replace it with empty space, then you do it again, then you again replace it with empty space, then you again do it if it's still there, is there, otherwise. तो यहाँ का logic वही है. Someone says thrice, so this is pretty easy. So suppose if I say I don't have any edit permission, but uh, let me request edit access. I hope the admin मेरे को देगा access. So, for example, because it's easy to annotate here, I'll of course annotate it in a clean way. But suppose यहाँ पे you have to check say ABC 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 C, and the pattern is BCA, for example. So the moment you look up, take BCA, say BCA in. The moment it says yes, वहां पे आके you replace BCA with null, so it becomes AB, right?
Sir, kindly check the access has been given.
अच्छा एक बार देखता हूँ मैं. हाँ, तो let me use some other color font. Let me use blue color just so that you can, of course the user tracking would be there, so you can um, do the undo the changes. तो यहाँ पे suppose if you have to check BCA, so the moment you say कि exactly three times, how will you check three times? Because if you don't replace this with empty string, then it will read the same string three times. इसको लो, the moment you find it, you replace it with null. So then this becomes a BCA BC. Then you again do a BCA here. Then you do again this null thing. Then this becomes a BC. Then अभी यहाँ पे तुमको थोड़ा लॉजिक करना पड़ेगा कि is rotation allowed or not, because if it's a cyclic word, this is again, then the question becomes really difficult, because then ABC is there, then BC, this will cycle back as A. If it's not cycling back as A, then it is not repeated thrice, for example. And then you can take whatever it's repeated thrice. String form repeating same substring is so that's how you approach it. If it's rotation allowed, then BC is against the here, for example.
Sir, in
Uh,
this question, I had actually given an initial condition if the length of the string is divisible by 3, then proceed, else give false immediately.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं होगा ना. क्यों? नवल
Meaning divisible, meaning it should have at least
यही हुआ
9,
ना.
right?
नवल 5 5 5 15 टाइम हो गया नवल, फिर ये 18 लेंथ हो गया इसका. सपोज सीन भी ऐसा ही करो. हाँ अब बोलो. ये तो लेंथ 17 हुआ. 5 times 3 times नवल एंड देन एसआई. ये तो ट्रू है. यू आर फाइंडिंग नवल 3 times here.
So basically, we can't use length of the string as one of the conditions,
ना
so that
ना
at
ना.
least some of the cases can be gotten out of here. Because if you
हाँ.
see the second one, it has
हम्म.
only 6 A's and it needed at least 9.
हम्म.
And the third one has 9 XYZ, so it is true.
हम्म.
The fourth one is AB 3 times, so it is true. But if it had been just AB, then it would have been false.
हम्म.
So, can we use length of the string as one of the test cases? That was my
कर
initial
कर
guess.
सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज ये क्वेश्चन में लिखा है ना, should return true if the length is divisible by 3 and all three equal parts of the string are identical. So ये this could be one condition, but that need not be sufficient condition. It's a necessary condition, but then all equal parts should be identical. Otherwise, return false. Make sense? Or still confusing? शांतनु शेखर को समझ में आया. Next, sum of ends divisible by k. Write a function is sum of ends divisible by k. Nums k takes a tuple of integers. Nums integer k as input, checks whether the sum of the first and last element of a tuple is divisible by k. Okay. Okay. 10 plus 30 40 divisible by 5 plus. हाँ, तो इसमें क्या करना है आपको? तो टपल का इम्यूटेबल होता है. यहाँ पे आई थिंक टपल का व्हाट दे आर चेकिंग इज कैन यू टेक, फॉर एग्जांपल जो टपल इज टी, कैन यू टेक टी ऑफ 0. It will say tuple is not subscriptable. अच्छा ये blue में लिखना था मेरे को. It will say tuple is not subscriptable or something. Tuple or set or whatever is not subscriptable. Then how will you take t of 0 and t of minus 1, whatever? Or if you are able to find this, then you do t of 0 plus t of minus 1 and then do whatever percentage k. Then remaining part is Python syntax. Logic part is this much only. How you extract the first and last element is the art. If they do not allow, then you force convert into list. List of t of 0. List of t of this. Then it will allow you. Make sense? Next. Move even indices to end reversed. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 30, 50. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 2, and 4. So 10, 30, and 50. Okay. Well, in reversed order. Okay. While in the in order. ठीक है. तो आप इसको सारे इवेंट को उठा करके डंप करिए and then you either call l dot reversed कॉल करके then you add. पढ़ते पढ़ते आपको आना चाहिए, मतलब कि एक रफ आइडिया बन जाना चाहिए कि आपको ऐसे दो लिस्ट है, तो एक लिस्ट आपको दिया हुआ है, तो आप एक ही लिस्ट एल सपोज आपको दिया हुआ है, एल को कुछ करना है आपको, तो एल से आपको दो निकला, एल वन निकला, एल टू निकला, फिर क्या करना है आपको, एल से यू गॉट एल वन एंड एल टू, देन यू नो दैट कि एल वन में आपको एल वन इज whatever 0 to this not minus 1, this jumps by whatever 0 to 4 na, so jumps by this, does this handle it, 0 1 3 whatever there, if you want to do the for loop, do for loop, so l1 is l ka sara odd wale you will get here, stored them in l1, and then all the even ones store them in l2. I think whatever is this 2, I guess 0 2 4 whatever. अब आपको क्या करना है, L2 को रिवर्स करना है. मेक सेंस? उसके बाद क्या करना है, उसका आपको आना चाहिए कि लिस्ट को चिपकाने से लिस्ट चिपकता नहीं है, जो दैट्स द मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन. इफ a is equal to 1 2 and b is equal to 3 4, a plus b is what, a plus b, then the most frequently said question answer is 4 and 6. Is this the right answer, or it is 1 2 3 4? जब आप लिस्ट को ऐड करते हैं तो लिस्ट कॉन्कैटनेट हो जाता है. दिस इज ऑप्शन ए, दिस इज ऑप्शन बी. As an IIT students, please don't choose option A ever in your life. It doesn't add, it concatenates, right? List concatenate होता है. जैसे ही आपको ये सब दिख रहा है, यू हैव टू फाइंड कि एल, देखो एल से एल वन एल टू निकला, एल वन एज इट इज है, एल टू में ऐसा, एल टू भी हमने ऐसा निकाला, रिवर्स किया, फिर हमको इसको कॉन्कैटनेट कर देना है. उसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, एल वन प्लस रिवर्स एल टू, दैट्स इट, और कुछ नहीं है. एंड देन व्हाटएवर इफ इट वांट्स इट एज अ टपल, देन सेट कर दो या टपल कर दो या व्हाटएवर जो भी करना है कर दो, या जो भी फॉर्मेट चेंज करना है. इज दिस क्लियर? जो मैं अप्रोच कर रहा हूँ, इज द अप्रोच मेकिंग सेंस, नॉट मेकिंग सेंस, ऊपर से जा रहा है, वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स, रात हो गई, थक गए, वांट अ ब्रेक. I know my sessions run for 3+ hours, and so I tell them to have like a cup of milk or tea or Bonvita or whatever you drink, because these sessions may last longer. But uh, I love Python from the bottom of my heart. I don't feel tired doing this. If you feel, people feel a bit, I am 40, so I should feel tired a bit, but I'll have fun in teaching this. If your brain is getting tired, let me know. I will pause. Right? Largest zero sum subarray. Write a function largest zero sum. ठीक है, that takes nums. This is a classic hacker rank problem. This gets asked again in multiple interviews. So longest contiguous subarray में you take, suppose largest sum non-zero, largest sum zero sum subarray, you take 3 plus 4, 7. Then you add this to C here, 7 minus 7 0. So this 3 becomes 0. So you have now 3. You store 3 somewhere. Then you add 1. This becomes 1. Then you add 2. This becomes 3. Then you add minus 3. It again becomes 0. That means 3 is an answer. 6 is also an answer. But the largest is this 6. सबको ऐड करोगे तो सम 0 मिलेगा. ये क्या बोल रहा है? Find a subarray that has the maximum length जिसका sum of element is 0. So you take that element, run a for loop, keep on adding it, right? The moment if you get a 0, you store it in a dictionary or somewhere, you continue adding it. अगर फिर से 0 आता है तो because then you compare the length, because of course बाद वाला 0 का length बढ़ गया रहेगा, तो check the original one, keep the second one, then keep on adding it till you reach the end. जो आपका last होगा ना वो आपका आंसर है. Suppose this one I have access na. Suppose this one, let me make it my color to be, suppose this one is 1. तो आंसर इज दिस. यहाँ तक करोगे आप 3 यहाँ पे, then you add 3 and this is okay. ये मार्कअप मोड इसमें नहीं करता है क्या? मतलब विंडोज वर्ड में मार्कअप, if I enable it then it automatically points here. I have to do manually. Chalo, I'll write it and then I'll convert. So this becomes 7, this becomes 0, this becomes 1. ये sum कर रहा हूँ, running sum कर रहा हूँ. This becomes 0, then this becomes 1. Right? How many of you get what I'm doing? Keep on adding. इससे इसको ऐड करके ये मिलेगा. फिर ये जो सम है, ये सम से नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को ऐड करो तो ये मिलेगा. फिर इससे इस एलिमेंट को ऐड करो तो ये मिलेगा. फिर इससे इसको ऐड करो तो ये मिलेगा. फिर इससे ये ऐड करो तो 0 मिलेगा. 0 से 1 ऐड करो तो 1 मिलेगा. You keep on adding. So in this question, the largest contiguous array to get 0 is the full array. So you just keep on adding, keep on adding. The moment you get you got a 0, you could have stopped here, right? 3 plus 4 7, 7 minus 7 0, you could have stopped, but don't stop. You store this, you come again, and suppose this is the list. Then you do this, then you come here, then you add it, lage array to 0 nahi ho raha hai. Then you go back and return this as the answer. But again, suppose ये 1 हुआ, उसके बाद -1 आ गया. Then this is the answer. Right? It's not difficult question, it's conceptual question. You have to store them and chuck them. Group and sum by key. Read multiple lines of input, output, and sum value by key. Print the output and print the totals in sorted key order. Okay. Each line of input contains a key followed by a colon, semicolon. Okay. I have solved this question. This is easy. I mean, I found it pretty easy. So just take the first one. Nah? Take these inputs for I in 1 to n range n. Keep on taking this. Take the whatever this L of 0. So this will be the first element. And then L of 0 को आप एक dictionary में store कर दीजिए. Right? For example, let's say D is equal to DICT, whatever. Right? And then check करिए आप. Suppose the word is this L of 0. If L of 0, which is suppose P in dict dot keys, अगर वो key में है, then increment it. How do you increment it? You add these elements. How do you add these elements? L dot split, इसमें डिलिमिटर रहेगा ये, इससे हमको क्या मिलेगा? P मिलेगा एंड देन 2,4 मिलेगा. How many of you are asleep? asleep होगा तो बोलोगे कैसे? How many of you are not asleep? एक दो लोग ही नॉट asleep, बाकी सब सो गए. मैं इतना बुरा पढ़ाता हूँ कि पूरा क्लास ही सो गया. ठीक है, तो जब मैं स्प्लिट करूंगा इसको इसके ऊपर, तो ये मेरे को ये 2 मिलेगा. ठीक है, द मोमेंट ये मिलेगा, अब मेरे को क्या करना है? मेरे को मालूम है कि ये सब कॉमा सेपरेटेड है. देन आई कैन स्टार्ट स्प्लिटिंग बाय कॉमा, और आई कैन जस्ट टेक इट एंड dump it these comma separated numbers into list or something, right? And then take them as integer and keep on adding. तो यहाँ पे split का angle है. The moment you split this, then you call the split again. How do you call the split again? L dot split कर दिया आपने, तो आप just call it, suppose m is equal to L dot split. L dot split, सॉरी यार, मैं आपके डॉक्यूमेंट पे लिख दे रहा हूँ, आप उसको मैं बाद में डिलीट कर दूंगा इसको. आपने इसको स्प्लिट किया, एंड देन व्हाट यू डू इज यू टेक द सेकंड पार्ट विच इज द वन, विच इज द पार्ट वेयर वी हैव 2,4. अब फिर आप m को स्प्लिट करो, m डॉट स्प्लिट, और इसको आप कॉमा पे स्प्लिट करो. उससे क्या होगा? m विल बिकम, सपोज m, जिसको n बोलो, n is equal to m. What will n become? In this case, it will become 2, of course, string 2, string 4. Second case, mein n will become, or whatever, n of, if you put this in a loop, then n of 0 will become this, n of 1 will become, remember, हाँ, मैं ये इतना ये string में डाल रहा हूँ इसलिए, because this is the most common mistake. ये string को और आप add करोगे ना, concatenate होगा, add नहीं होगा. ठीक है, अब आपको क्या करना है? इफ L0 in DHT.key, suppose L of 0 is what? First part. यार की में मिलता है, तो what will you do? Suppose DICT.key is DICT is what? D is in D.keys, then D of L0 is equal to D of L0 plus ये, हमको n का सारा चाहिए ना, n का सारा एलिमेंट चाहिए, तो you have to find a way to sum these two, because n is matching to this one. So add, either do, let call it sum, and this sum has to be calculated somewhere here. For I in range len n, there are many ways to calculating the sum, and then sum is equal to sum plus int of n of I. तो ये ऐड करते जाएगा, सम को 0 डिफाइन कर दो यहाँ पे, तो 0 + 2, 2 + 4 6, वो 6 यहाँ ऐड हो जाएगा, फिर चेक करेगा वो, फिर p का वैल्यू 6 मिलेगा उसको, 6 + 6 12 हो जाएगा आउटपुट, तो आउटपुट है p का 12. तो ये अच्छा एग्जांपल है, मुझे ये वाला एग्जांपल क्लास में यूज करना चाहिए था. द क्लासिक एग्जांपल ऑफ स्प्लिटिंग ऑन मनी एंगल्स, मनी डिफरेंट डिलिमिटर्स, स्प्लिट कर करके यू कैन फाइंड इट आउट. कितने लोगों को समझ में आया मैंने क्या अप्रोच लगाया? कितने लोगों को कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया मैंने क्या अप्रोच लगाया? ये करना क्या है यहाँ पे? इट्स नॉट दैट डिफिकल्ट, इट्स बिट involved, but it's not difficult. We are given a list of flight records called flight. Implement a list of flight tuples. Return the percentage of flight with latest. This is simple form filters. If delay min int is less than 15, abs कर दो, या यहाँ पे ये है तो परसेंटेज f का ये फॉर्मूला है, परसेंटेज f कितने लोगों को आता है नहीं आता है, or if you do not know, it's also fine. You can multiply by जो डिले आएगा उसको आप 100 से मल्टीप्लाई करो एंड देन चॉप ऑफ एवरीथिंग बिहाइंड दैट. अगर किसी को परसेंटेज एफ या परसेंटेज पॉइंट टू एफ का कंसेप्ट नहीं समझ में आता है, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, राइट. तो सपोज एक नंबर है एन, एन इज इक्वल टू सपोज एन नहीं, सपोज पाई, तो 3.1416, ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. इसको आपको राउंड करना है 2 डिजिट तक. हाउ विल यू डू इट? एकदम लेमैन तरीके से, 100 पाई ABS, it will become what? ABS of 314.16. This will become what? 304. Then you divide it by 200. Whatever. Call it, suppose X. And divide it X by 100. This will become 3.14. If you want to round it, then seal and floor and the round, you can use whatever round function and something instead of absolute function. Those who do not know percentage F and all those format, तो ये हो जाएगा. It's not difficult. Return the route with the highest average delay. You can find this delay को ये करते जाओ, route wise flight का delay को करो और उसका sum करो, highest delay will get it. Busiest airport, list of flight tuples, return the airport appearing most frequently in a departure or arrival. तो यहाँ पे आपको frequency count करना है. ये string और ये string. स्ट्रिंग का ये बनाओ डिक्शनरी, डिक्शनरी में फ्रीक्वेंसी काउंट करो, ये दोनों को मर्ज करके डिक्शनरी में काउंट करो कि कौन सा फ्रीक्वेंट मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंट वर्ड है. दैट इज द बिजिएस्ट एयरपोर्ट. टोटल डिले इन आवर्स सम करो, आई थिंक इट्स मिनट में दिया है ना, ये डिले मिनट है, 60 से डिवाइड कर दो, खत्म. ट्रैक फ्लाइट्स, रिटर्न्स डिक्शनरी विद कीज ऑन टाइम, ठीक है, दिस आर ऑल फॉर्मूला गिवन. नेक्स्ट zigzag number grid. हाँ, this was frequently asked question. For 4, we have 3 having zigzag. So odd number rows left to right, even number rows right to left. The pattern repeats for all rows. ठीक है. This is what you print something for I is equal to 1 to n. If you are really clever, then you can do something like favorite function of the lazy people like me, s slash slash s this minus 1. Then keep on printing. Print s and then print s this minus 1.
Sir, I did that, but the test cases also didn't match.
हाँ, then वो lazy वाला they would have had some angle. Then you manually print it. Then you manually print for I is equal to 1 to
And this was the question in which they admitted that one of their test cases was wrong. So whatever anyone did, they couldn't get the answer.
हाँ, in that case so they should
But
have given you full
my
marks.
test cases all went right.
Test cases दिए हैं क्या इसमें? Have you given test cases? अच्छा, you have
हाँ
given
हाँ
test case.
हाँ.
Question 7 ना? Okay.
Yeah, question 7.
Okay. Let us see. But yeah, like I'm not defending anyone. If it's mistake, then it's a mistake. But if you wanted to solve, then this so you cannot see. अच्छा, private test you can see. अच्छा. कुछ नहीं है. You're writing from y is equal to range 1 to n, then n to 1 step minus 1. Forward लिखो, वापस लिखो, forward लिखो, वापस लिखो. It's very easy. Or if you are again, if you want to just finish this work in one loop, then do something else. Just do then just do something like this. whatever, for I in range n. And then in the second one, print n minus I, like whatever, dot dot dot. So I'm leaving that for, so this will become n minus I, then n minus I minus 1, and then this becomes whatever, 1, 2, 3, n minus 1,
So the
and
range will start from 1 to n.
so you can keep on doing all this one and everything, right? So you can do both in one loop as well, both in separate loop as well. If you actually want to do, you can store them in list as well and then print them later. You can concatenate them. There are many ways of doing this. The best part was the telephone unlock code. I think it came in OPP 1, but of previous year. That unlock code was the best application of this. That don't print it, store it in a string and then print the string, so that you can manipulate this thing. The moment you start printing it, then you cannot manipulate it. So if these were the questions, then of course they're like little bit, I'll say, difficult, but not at all unsolvable. Arey baap re, almost the entire class is gone. There are hardly a few people left, and that also I stopped sharing and I see the entire screen is like nobody. Okay, thank you everyone else who stayed back for 2.5 hours. See you tomorrow. Okay. अपने doubts please. अच्छा, people who saw the form, uh, where is that form? Uh, okay, okay. Lot of chat, lot of chat. Where is that thing? Question जो मैंने starting में दिया था, हाँ ये वाला. So if you can do fill up the questions in this one and this one. Keep these two handy for tomorrow and do bookmark these two at least till the OPP one on Sunday. And then I'll take a look at all your responses and all your questions. Submit all your doubts and PYQs or any concept that you want me to revise, and I will take it first thing tomorrow. Okay? Works? Yes, no,
Yes, sir.
maybe.
Yes,
Work?
sir.
अच्छा. कोई तो बंद कर देना ये रिकॉर्डिंग, मेरे को बंद करना नहीं आता है, तो आई थिंक आई विल जस्ट क्लोज द टैब एंड गो. ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
चलो. हाँ मैं जा रहा हूँ. बाय बाय, गुड नाइट.